Think about it. From the second you wake up to the moment your head hits the pillow, it's there. Our phones, our computers, this whole connected world. It promises us so much, right? Solutions to our biggest problems. But it also creates these new, tricky problems we're just now starting to get our heads around. So let's pull back the curtain on this really complex relationship we have with the things we've built.
This is it. This is really the central question of our time, isn't it? In this explainer, we're going to tackle it head on. We're going to explore both the incredible, mind-blowing promise and the potential peril of just how much we depend on our tech.
And look, this isn't some simple good versus bad thing. Not at all. The reality is, technology is so woven into the fabric of our lives, it's kind of hard to see where we end and it begins. It's a tool that's both a source of amazing progress and, at the same time, some brand new anxieties.
All right, Section 1, a force for good. Let's start with the bright side, the promise of progress. It's so easy to take this stuff for granted. But what are the really undeniable ways technology has solved problems that, not too long ago, seemed impossible? Let's dive into a really powerful example.
So, let me tell you a story. Meet Faith Lennox. She's 7 years old, and she was born without a left hand. Now, this made some of those simple childhood joys, like riding a bike, a huge challenge. But that all changed. And her mom's words right here, they just capture that pure, unfiltered joy. So what made it all possible?
$50. That's it. That was the grand total to create Faith's brand new prosthetic hand. Not thousands, not tens of thousands of dollars, 50. So this isn't just about cool new tech, it's about making that progress available to basically everyone.
I mean, this is the power we're talking about. A custom-designed hand, printed in her favorite colors, literally built overnight. All of a sudden, a life-changing solution becomes cheap, it's fast, and it's totally personalized. That is just a clear, undeniable win for technology.
Now, if we step back from Faith's incredible story, you can see a much broader idea at play. Tech blogger Stéphane Etienne, he frames technology as this incredible portal, like a window that opens up entire worlds of information and connection that were just unimaginable before.
Etienne basically argues that technology gives us, especially young people, a kind of superpower. You know, the ability to find anything, solve almost anything, and connect with anyone. It's a tool that empowers us to learn, to create, and to help each other in ways that no generation before us ever could.
Okay, but here's a fascinating little counterpoint from the legendary sci-fi author Arthur C. Clarke. He tells this story that's a great reminder that progress isn't always about just replacing the old with the new. What happens when our most brilliant, expensive tech just goes dark?
Okay, picture this. You're on a futuristic space station. A $500,000 air purifier silently freezes up. The super advanced electronic alarm system also dead. The crew is right on the verge of disaster, and they have no idea. The hero of this story isn't some fancy gadget. Nope, it's Clarabelle, a tiny canary that a crew member smuggled on board. Just like the canaries that miners used to carry, she passes out from the bad air, giving the crew the only warning they get. A simple, living alarm system that worked where a fortune in engineering completely failed.
And that story is a perfect pivot to Section 2, a black hole of distraction. This is where we look at the price of all this progress. Because if technology is a window, what happens when that window starts to feel less like a portal to a new world and more like a prison?
So this slide really pits the two big ideas against each other. On one side, you have Stéphane Etienne's window, but on the other, you have blogger Lina Khan's black hole. Her argument is that instead of helping us find truth, this endless stream of information actually just devours our attention, making it impossible to ever stop and really process or appreciate anything.
And you know, this isn't just a philosophical debate. Mental health experts are seeing very real consequences. They've even identified something some people call Facebook depression, a specific kind of anxiety tied to that constant need to measure up online. It's the stress of, well, performing your life instead of actually living it.
But the impact isn't just social, it's biological. Think about this number for a second, 34. That is the average number of texts a young person sends after they've already gotten into bed for the night. The day doesn't really end when the lights go out anymore.
And all that late-night texting,
it has a direct impact: sleep loss. And we're not just talking about being tired. When we lose sleep, our ability to think clearly, to learn new things, and to solve problems takes a serious nosedive. Our 24/7 connection might actually be costing us our cognitive edge.
So let's project this out a bit. What could be the long-term cost of all this? For that, let's turn to another science fiction master, Isaac Asimov, who imagined what a school day might look like over a century from now.
In Asimov's future, education is super efficient, it's personalized, and it is profoundly lonely. As you can see, the teacher is just a screen. The classroom is a little room in your house. Books are just files. But look what's missing. Classmates. There's no shared laughter, no passing notes, no helping each other with a tough problem. It's a world that's been optimized for delivering information, but it's completely lost the human part.
And this is the story's really heartbreaking conclusion. The main character, Margie, she learns about what our schools are like today, and she can only think about one thing: the joy of learning together. The amazing technology of her time has given her everything except the one thing that truly matters: the fun they had. So, we have the promise and the peril, the window and the black hole. And that brings us to our final section: finding the balance. Because this isn't about choosing a side or, throwing our phones in a lake. It's about rethinking our relationship with these tools and finding a more intentional way to live with them.
Which leads us to a pretty radical idea. In a world that's designed to eliminate every single second of empty time, what if the most brilliant thing we could do is absolutely nothing? What if we just embraced being bored?
And there's some fascinating science behind this. When our minds wander, when we're just staring out a window or walking without looking at our phones, our brain kicks into something called default mode. Neuroscientists have found this is where we make new connections and spark our most creative, out-of-the-box ideas. By filling every spare moment with a screen, we might be accidentally silencing our own inner brilliance.
Ultimately, no one really has the final answer. As this sociology teacher puts it so perfectly, the future is uncertain. We are living through this massive experiment in real time, and even the experts are still debating how it's all going to shake out.
And that leaves us with the final and I think the most important question. It's not just about the cool new powers technology gives us. It's about what we might be losing in the trade-off. As our tools get smarter, the real challenge for us is to get wiser, to consciously decide what we want to gain and what we absolutely refuse to leave behind.